Coming up on Torrance Today, gas prices make the largest jump in 7 years. El Camino College unveils a new center dedicated to social justice. And UCLA is coming to the South Bay. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Kirk Lyons. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, September 29th. I hope you're wrapping up a fantastic week. Thank you for joining us. Here is our first story. Gas prices in our region jumped 15.3 cents overnight. That's the steepest jump since July of 2015. Today also marked the 27th consecutive day that gas prices have risen in LA County, where prices are currently 67 cents higher than they were a week ago. Just yesterday, Californians saw gas prices top $6 for a gallon of regular unleaded gas. But after last night's increase, the statewide average price for a gallon of regular unleaded is $6.18, still less than the record high of $6.46 set in June. With the national average at $3.78 per gallon, you may be wondering why prices are so high in California. Officials are blaming our state's higher prices on planned and unplanned refinery maintenance, which is slowing oil production. Hurricane Ian could also disrupt production in some areas, but President Joe Biden warned gas companies yesterday not to use the hurricane as an excuse to gouge the American people. Rat Beach remains closed due to bacteria levels exceeding state standards. This comes nearly a month after a massive sewage spill at Malaga Creek, where nearly 15,000 gallons of raw sewage could have spilled out from a private residence in Palos Verdes Estates. Thankfully, public health officials determined at that time it only extended 100 yards on either side of the creek, not reaching the Torrance city boundary. Rat Beach, which is an acronym for Right After Torrance, is located just south of Torrance Beach and is a popular spot for surfers and swimmers. Rat Beach was initially closed on September 7th, and officials say it will remain closed until bacteria levels meet health standards for 2 consecutive days. Torrance Beach was unaffected by the spill, however, and remains open. El Camino College now has a brand new social justice center. Trustees, school officials, and students celebrated its grand opening yesterday. Plans for the center started in 2020, when students voiced their concerns with the college for lacking a space for mobilization and discussion of societal issues. The same students went to the Board of Trustees for help, and after a lot of hard work and collaboration, the Social Justice Center was born. The goal of the center is for students to gather and mobilize around different issues and to feel safe. School officials say the center is also a hub for clubs and programs focused on social justice. College officials say the ultimate goal of this space, however, is for students to celebrate and support each other and feel a sense of community. If you're looking to have a little fun this weekend, Torrance is the place to be. It all starts on Saturday when St. Matthew's Orthodox Christian Church presents the South Bay Falafel Festival, an all-day event starting at 11 a.m. that will feature Mediterranean food like shawarma and, of course, falafel, as well as Arabic music and dancing, a kid zone, and a beer garden for the adults. For more information, scan the QR code on your screen or visit the St. Matthew's website. Then at 2 p.m., the LA dancers of the Royal Scottish Country Dance Society will perform at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the society. No registration is required, but come prepared to dance. And at 7 p.m., the Madrona Marsh Preserve and Nature Center will host a star party where volunteers from the Riverside Astronomical Society will set up their telescopes for visitor viewing, giving families a chance to get a glimpse of the Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. And on Sunday, volunteers from the Southern California Live Steamers will be back at Wilson Park, offering free mini train rides from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And as we head into the weekend, be sure to catch the latest episodes of Weekends in Torrance. On Friday, the Torrance Unified School District joins Hawthorne and Lawndale to unveil a new teacher residency program aimed at getting more teachers with diverse backgrounds jobs in their districts. The program also allows participants to gain a master's degree and a preliminary teaching credential paid for by a stipend through the state. Then, the Shinsengumi Restaurant Group celebrates its 30-year anniversary by holding its 8th annual Charity Summer Festival. And on Sunday, 2 Torrance teens teamed up for the 3rd year in a row to honor the victims of 9/11, planting 2,996 flags across Seaside Heroes Park, each symbolizing a life lost on that fateful day. All this and more beginning at 4 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right here on Torrance City Cable. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is proposing changes to the nutrition standards foods must meet before they can carry the healthy label on their packages. The proposal comes as the White House held its conference this week on hunger, nutrition, and health and released a new national strategy to end hunger and improve nutrition. Roughly 5% of foods are currently labeled as healthy, which is a regulated claim. Foods that make the claim have limits on individual nutrients and must contain minimum amounts of certain vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber. The FDA says since the claim was defined in 1994, nutrition and dietary science has changed, making the term outdated. The proposed criteria change means instead of counting only individual nutrients, healthy claims would also take into account the variety as well as their density. In order to be labeled healthy, food products would need to contain a specific amount of food from the recommended food groups or subgroups, as well as adhere to specific limits for certain nutrients such as fat, sodium, and added sugar. Limits are based on a percent of the daily value of the nutrient and vary depending on the food or food group. UCLA is moving to the South Bay. Well, kind of. It announced plans this week to buy 2 large properties owned by Marymount California University, a small Catholic institution in Rancho Palos Verdes that officially closed its doors last month. Like other small colleges struggling to survive, Marymount California saw its enrollment drop by half and tuition revenue shrink. After a failed effort to merge with St. Leo University in Florida, the board decided to close its doors and sell the property. For UCLA, the move addresses the need for more space as enrollment continues to surge to record levels, a direction embraced by the UC Board of Regents, as well as Governor Gavin Newsom and state legislators. Of the 41 formal bids for the properties, UCLA ultimately won out because of its vision to retain the small college culture as a satellite campus for diverse students, as well as its financial capacity to close the deal and start up programs in a timely manner. As for Marymount California, it is diligently helping students to transfer to other universities and learning institutions. Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation yesterday that would open up much of the state's commercial land for residential development. It is a victory for affordable housing advocates who say such sites are ready-made for apartments located in popular areas with ample parking already built in. However, critics of the laws say they undermine the authority of local government and upend planning that reflects community preferences, adding there are also potential financial consequences as stores generate more property tax for local governments than homes do. Housing advocates claim that local governments are oftentimes too content to let commercial buildings sit vacant for years, even decades, hoping for a replacement that will generate more taxes. Legislators say the new laws will create much-needed new housing for low and middle-income Californians, generate thousands of good-paying jobs with health benefits, and increase the use of public transit. There is good news in the world of Alzheimer's research. Japanese drug maker Eisai announced this week that early test results of its Alzheimer treatment, lecanemab, are showing the drug to be effective. According to company officials, the treatment given to nearly 1,800 early-stage Alzheimer's patients reduced clinical decline by 27% after 18 months of treatment, compared to a placebo. Patients were monitored using a scale that measures mental decline and their ability to do daily activities, like getting dressed or feeding oneself. The company said it would discuss full results from the research at a conference in late November. It also plans to publish findings in a peer-reviewed medical journal. The company is already seeking an accelerated approval from the FDA, and the agency is expected to decide by early next year. The Alzheimer's Association says the findings are the most encouraging to date for potential treatments of the underlying disease causes. Still ahead, it's Thoughtful Thursday, and we pay tribute to the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice and selflessly served our country when we come back in 60 seconds.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to share a positive story that fits the theme for the day. On this Thoughtful Thursday, we'd like to call attention to National VFW Day, the day that commemorates the hard work and sacrifice made by the men and women who have served our country. VFW stands for Veterans of Foreign Wars, an organization established to support both past and present American service members who have served in foreign wars, expeditions, or campaigns. The organization was created in 1913 during a historic convention in Pittsburgh. It was the result of a merger between 3 war veteran associations founded in 1899 after the Spanish-American War. Because of this, the VFW recognizes 1899 as its founding date. 120 years later, the VFW is still going strong with a membership of more than 1.5 million people and more than 6,000 posts spread across every state in our country, as well as in the Asia Pan-Pacific region and Europe. One way we can honor our local veterans is to visit the Torrance Veterans Memorial, located at the corner of Torrance Boulevard and Maple Avenue, dedicated to all the men and women who have given their lives in service to our country during times of war. The 146 names etched on the memorial all represent Torrance residents. And if you are a veteran in Torrance, be sure to RSVP for an appreciation lunch and resource fair hosted by the Torrance Social Services Commission at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center on Friday, October 21st. Spaces fill up quickly, and we'd love to recognize you for your selfless service. To all of our military heroes who have served or are currently serving, we not only call attention to you today, we offer you a heartfelt thank you. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torrancetoday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here on Monday with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great weekend.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.